Hello, my name is Rossella, and today I'm going to do the C paper included in this book published by the ABRSM in 2022. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on my website theoryvirtuoso.com, where you can see all the videos that I publish. There are music theory videos, musical quizzes, tutorials on discovering music theory or grades, tutorials on sample and past exam papers, piano tutorials, and shorts on musical terms. Remember, like and subscribe. Bye! As ever, the first section relates to rhythm, and we have 5 questions. The first one asks us to circle the right time signature for the given bars. As ever, look from above and see what you can notice, what really catches your eyes. In this case, I see mostly quavers, okay? Look at this. We have 3 notes together, 3 quavers together. It means that we have 3 seats, which means that it is a compound time. So I can already exclude 3/4. And now these 2 other time signatures ask us basically, how many quavers do we have? 7 or 6? Let's count them then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Therefore, the answer is 7/8. 7/8 could be grouped in 3 plus 4 or 4 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, this is not very tidy. Okay. And when we have 4, we can have 2 plus 2 as well, which adds up to 4 anyway. So the division is 3 plus 4 or 4 plus 3, and all the subdivisions that might get from it. So 3 plus 2 plus 2 or 2 plus 2 plus 3. What is the difference? The difference is in the semi-accents that we have, and why do we have one as opposed to another? It's the composer's choice. So it can change bar per bar, so we don't have to have a piece where this subdivision is consistent. You can also find it, I think I mentioned it before, in Sonatina by Dutilleux for flute and piano. You can find this anywhere throughout the piece. The first movement is in 7/8, and we have this kind of alternation between the 2 counting, and it's perfectly fine. It depends on how the composer wants us to put the momentum. Okay, this is very advanced. The second one is again a compound time. Why? Because I have 1, 2, and 3 things together, and when this happens, it means that we have 3 seats. We have 3 seats only in compound times, 2 seats in simple times. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and watch the videos relating to this. I think it's in grade 3. I link it below, or I try to put it in the card up here. In my channel, if you go to the playlist, you have all the grades from 2 to 5 and exam papers from grade 5 and hopefully already from grade 4, where I repeat these things, but especially in Discovering Music Theory, in the tutorials on the Discovering Music Theory series, I go deeper into this. So even if you're preparing for grade 5, why don't you go and watch a little piece of that tutorial so you know what I'm talking about, and if you know it, you have it reassured, okay? Repetita juvant, say the ancient Romans. So let's go back to where we were. 1, 2, and 3 what? Semiquavers. 1, 2, and 3 semiquavers. 1, 2, and 3 semiquavers. So we are thinking in semiquavers here. We can't think in quavers. Look at here. 1 quaver, 1 semiquaver. It doesn't make any sense. The answer is 9/16. You can count them, but in this case, it's the only option in which we have a counting value 4 semiquavers. So next one, 2 quavers. Let's see what catches our eyes. Definitely this quintuplet is not very common to find it, so fair enough, I would start from here. 5 in the space of 4. Okay, so in this case we have the equivalent of 4 semiquavers, which is 1 crotchet. We have another crotchet here. We have another crotchet here. As you can see, I'm just jumping through the bar. So we have another crotchet here. Look at here. We have an A quaver and 2 semiquavers, which make up another crotchet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crotchets, and the answer is 5/4. I want to draw our attention on this one here, this figure here. This is a syncopation. A syncopation happens when a series of, or one note of a longer value sits between 2 notes of a shorter value. Now, these notes could be the same or could be different, but they can make up the same amount. So in this case, the quaver. It is very often used in music to push the music forward, to give it like a very lightly pace. And so we do like dun, 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 as opposed to counting a little bit more downwards. However, we always skim in music, which means that we don't really push our steps down, boom, boom, as if we are walking through snow. But we are like a stone thrown through a water surface, and then we aim to do as many jumps as we can. So we do dun, 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 dun. If you do dun, 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 the music has the sense of being held back or holding back. I remember my teacher saying, you're nearly stopping, but it was not because of my speed. It was because of my kind of pace and the mental sense of what I was doing. So dun, dun. So the syncopation does this even more. Dun, 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 dun. Because the note is played when the stone is up at the peak. So dun, 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 dun. That gives the music a little bit of more sense forward. That is very advanced. As I always say, we practice, we sweat on theory to improve our playing, and this can only happen when we reflect on what we do. So this is very, very important. Exercise 2. This bar is written in simple time, and one of these bars rewritten in compound time is correct, which means that has the same rhythm but in another time signature. This is a very clever question from ABRSM, and I really like it. Now, you need to think of the seats when you do this, and there is a TikTok that I created on this, so you can go and watch it. The equivalence of the figures in compounded simple time. The thing is that in simple time we have 2 seats, and so to fill it we need pairs. In compound time we have 3 seats, or space for 3 people. Therefore we need 3 items or special symbols. So to make this in compound time, we need to, these are special because we have 3 seats and only 2 people. So you need a special ticket for that, kind of London Eye. And this is a special ticket. It means 2 in the space of 3. Very comfortably sitting on the London Eye cabins. These 3 people have each one seat in compound time. So we don't need the special symbol. We don't need the special symbol. What's happening here? Just 3 quavers differently written. These 2 quavers have been merged to form a crotchet. Never mind, it's still 3 quavers. The skeleton is 3 quavers. And this one here, to fill up, so this is made up of 2 people, right? And 2 becomes in compound time 3. So we need a dot to make it as long as 3. So where do we have the duplet, normal, normal, and a dot? Let's have a look. I think here. Yes, we have a duplet symbol, 3 quavers. 3 quavers and a dot. So the answer is the second one. This one has inverted the quaver and the crotchet. Why? We changed the rhythm by doing so. This has changed also these. No, we can't. So these 2 notes have the same length. So one is not occupying more space than another. They do share equally the space that they have. So in this case, this one weighs more. So it's not possible. All right, guys, I am trying to make it as clear and quick as possible. Let me know if this works for you. Thank you. Question 3. We need to complete 2 sentences by adding a number. In 6/8, so 6 quavers grouped in 3, these are 2 crotchets with a special sign here. So a duplet of quavers. I don't know if I say crotchets before, sorry. It's equal to 3 of the same kind. So these, for the things that I said above, and these ones are equal to 1 dotted crochet beat, a breve is equal to a certain number of semi-quavers. Okay, now you can spend 5 or 10 minutes depending on your math skills trying to add up things, the fractions and everything, but I have a quicker and more musical way of sorting this out. So basically the semiquaver is 1/16, which means that 16 semiquavers make a semibreve. The semibreve is half of a breve. Semi means half. Breve, semibreve, minim, semi-minim, that in English is called crotchet. I don't know why. In Italian it's called semi-minima, which makes sense. Quaver, semi-quaver, demi-semi-quaver, hemi-demi-semi-quaver, which means half quaver. So it makes sense apart from the crotchet. I don't know why it has been changed in English. I honestly don't know why, and I don't like it. Anyway, so a breve is double the semi-breve. So because we need 16 of them, or semi-quavers, to make a semi-breve, we would need 32 to make a breve. That's all, folks. Question 4. In question 4, we need to tick the box that shows the only bar grouped correctly. We are in 4/4, which means 4 crochets in a bar, and the grouping should be like this. We have 1, 2, middle of the bar, 3 and 4. This is very important because we can't have 2 and 3 merged together. We need to see the half of the bar. This happens in 4/4 and in any other time signature except the ones with an odd number. So here I don't understand what's happening. My eyes are already confused. In this case I see 2 quavers. This must be wrong. We have 1 quaver on its own. No, this is correct, but these are flying things. Not really, no. This is correct, this is also correct, but look at here, a quaver on its own? No. In simple time, never, unless there is a quaver, there is a rest, but not the case. Let's see this. 1, 2 crochets, 3 and 4. This is the correct answer. The middle of the bar is here and it's very visible. Remember that grouping is so strict and important because it gives our eyes the quickest input to convert into playing. So for sight reading, grouping is essential. Not to mention the conductor's job that relies on grouping a lot, because every group is a movement, or sort of, at least so they learn it this way, then they develop their own movements. They were all gesture, of course, but this is really, really the base of conducting, therefore playing orchestral music and sight reading. So it's at the basis of music, and I hope you understand the importance of this, and so you don't hate it anymore. Question 5. We need to tick across each box to show whether the rests have been correctly or incorrectly added. We are in, first of all, time signature. This is vital. If you don't look at the time signature, how can we tell? 6/16 means 6 semiquavers in a bar grouped in 3. So 1, 2, and 3 together. We need to have this kind of division: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, with the middle very clearly indicated. We have 2 semiquavers here and 1 semiquaver here. Okay. 2 semiquavers here and 1 semiquaver here, made up of 2 demisemiquavers. Correct. Perfect. Next one, we have one semiquaver, okay, which is the first place. Then we have 1 quaver. There is this one here, and then we have 3 semiquavers. There is this other group here. Now, mathematically this is correct, but musically it isn't. And I will never get tired saying this, that we need the longer value first and then the shorter ones. So in this case, we will need the quaver rest first, and then we can actually write this as a dot. And so this is the right version of writing this. This is because this consumes ink and space, and in the old times it was gold. People were copying books and books by hand using ink that was really precious. So ink and time were vital. And so anything that could make the writing more concise and less expensive would do. Okay, so that's it. Also, it's easier to read if we start from the highest value. This one is a gentle reminder, not really gentle, it's a scary reminder that no matter the time signature, a whole bar rest is a semibreve rest. So this is correct. I repeat, no matter the time signature, a whole bar rest is a semibreve rest. We learned this in grade 1. You would be surprised to know that in grade 5, many people have forgotten that. And the reason why they forget that is because they don't observe their music pieces enough. They just skip through the bars where there is a silence throughout. And so they forget to notice that semibreve rest that sits there, actually that hangs on the 4th line, and tells us very quickly that we need to stop for an entire bar without counting the number of subdivisions in which we need to stay silent. It's just the whole bar. Okay, we keep flowing and we continue counting in our head without hesitating, without pausing the music, in a very musical way, in other words. Are you happy? Let's turn the page. Section 2. Our second section relates to pitch, and in the first 2 questions we are asked to tick the box that shows the correct name for this note and the correct enharmonic equivalent of this other note, one by one. This is the alto clef, and the alto clef is treble clef plus 1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go and watch the videos 1A, 1B, 1C and 1D relating to clefs. I made an online lesson, basically mini lectures that I showed to my students and other students, and they all told me that it was really valuable for them to understand and made it finally all clear. So all you need to know about clefs in these 4 short videos. They are very relaxed and very lightly presenting the topic. Okay, so in the treble clef, this note would be Do, C, plus 1, D, Re. There you go. Alternatively, you can count from here, middle C, but this is very far from middle C. So if you count, you might skip a step, and so you read it E. So this is not a case that you have E here as an option, or C, okay, because people skip steps. Now, the enharmonic equivalent of a note is a note that has the same sound, so the same pitch of another one, but a different name. Now, we need to find, in bass clef, this is called F, Fa. So we need to find a note that has the same sound as Fa, but it's called with a different name. So it could be Mi sharp or Sol double flat. What do we have here? Sol double flat. There you go. Done. I repeat, this is Fa, Mi sharp or Sol double flat. Question 3. As we're here, guys, you know that you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. I also have a website, theoryvirtuoso.com, where you can find all the videos that I publish. On Instagram in particular, I anticipate what I'm going to publish next, so you know what to expect. Like and subscribe if my videos are helpful to you. Tell your friends about it. Everything that supports my work helps me. Thank you. In this question, we need to tick across the boxes to show whether the items added were correctly or incorrectly written. And we need basically to transpose this melody a major second up. Okay, so first of all, the key signature is this is in A major. So G sharp plus 1 semitone, A major or F sharp minor. It doesn't really matter because the major and minor and relative minor share the same key signature. A major second, oh, by the way, I need to write a keyboard. Okay, a major second from A major second is 1 tone. So a note up would be B. Now B major has many sharps because B minus 1 semitone is A. Now fun coloring gigantic drawings after, so 5. I'll tell you more about this, but we have 5 sharps, okay, and they are Fa, Do, Sol, Re, La. Okay, B major minus 1 semitone A. This is the last sharp in our key signature, and we don't have them here, so this is incorrect. Sorry. Let's go on. B plus 1 tone, 1 and 2 is Do sharp. It's this. Is this Do sharp? Yes, it is. Correct. Sol natural becomes A natural. Yes, correct. Fa sharp becomes Sol sharp. Is this sharp? No. So, wrong, I'm afraid. Sorry. Finally, Do sharp plus 1 tone is D sharp, and here it is. So correct. I hope your answers were like mine. Go and watch the video again if not. YouTube is great because it allows us to play the video slower, faster, or to pause and to go back and watch again. So I believe that YouTube is the most amazing learning resource that we have. This is why I'm here. Question 4. We need to compare the 3 bars and circle true or false for each of the 3 given statements. And to answer this question, you need to know my memorime. If the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? Now, middle C in treble clef is this. Sorry, in bass clef is this. In treble clef is down here. So this is an octave higher. This melody is an octave higher than this one. And in the tenor clef, middle C is this one. So this is the same as the A example. Same, an octave higher. I've already answered the questions basically by saying so, because I've observed already. So now it will be very quick for me to answer, to choose the right answer. A and C are at the same pitch, yes. A is 1 octave higher than B. No, this is higher because A is here. It's written down here. B is 1 octave lower than C. Now again, C is like A, so B is 1 octave higher. They say lower, so false. Perfect, sorted. Are you happy? Let's go on to keys and scales. Okay, the first 2 questions relate to key signatures, and we need to identify the correct the key signatures of D flat major and F sharp major correctly written. Now, to answer this question and all the others in this section, please go and watch the videos relating to key signatures linked below or via the card up here. I say lots of important things about keys and scales, and I don't use the circle of fifths because honestly I think it's too difficult and it's too brainy. We don't need that. So D flat major, D flat is the penultimate flat of the key signature, and we have big elephants, 8 dinosaurs, goat, cheese and figs. So we have 5 flats, and we have 5 here, we have 5 here, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, so all of them. Now the shape of a key signature with flats is always a zigzagging descending shape, and we don't have it here, we don't have it here, we don't have it here, we have it here. The right answer is this. Simple. Now let's try to do it without counting, shall we? F sharp major, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 6 and 6 sharps. So F sharp major has 6 sharps. Now what is the shape of the A key signature with sharps? We have 2 shapes, one for all the other clefs and one for the tenor clef. All the other clefs have this shape here with 3 curves, of which the second one is longer, and the tenor clef only has a zigzagging ascending, has 3 zigzagging ascending curves. So where do we have this kind of shape? I see it here. This is the right shape for the wrong clef, because the alto clef has the same shape as this. This is very confusing, and this is very confusing as well. So the only possible answer is this, just by looking at the shape. Look at here, the 3 curves, the second one longer. So the right answer is the bass clef. Now guys, please notice that I haven't talked about notes or anything. I just talked about shape and I say these things in my videos. So I'm really trying to make things easier and quicker for all of you. And I found the quickest and simplest way to explain keys and scales and the key signature. So it's worth watching it at least once, then you can choose whether to remember what I say or not. Question 3. If you are watching this video, you have probably watched also the other ones relating to the other exam papers of this and the other 2 books published by ABRSM. So you know that I'm publishing all these videos. They are for free. If you want to support my work and what I do for all of you, you can buy a special thanks on YouTube, or you can join my club and become a member. I publish special videos for gold members. You can also have super stickers for the chats during the premieres or lives, and you have access to my videos before they are published. So many advantages, but especially the biggest thing is to show me your support and your appreciation. Sometimes I receive donations from my viewers, and you have no idea, guys, how I feel supported by these things. Even a small donation would make the difference for me, because I'm doing all of this for free. Thank you. We need to circle the correct key for each of the 3 melodies. And to answer this question, this is the one of the most hated questions of the Grade 5 paper. Follow me and you'll be fine. Fa, do, sol, re, la, mi, si. Fun coloring gigantic drawings after eating breakfast. And the opposite, the other way around, is the order of flats. So big elephants, 8 dinosaurs, goat, cheese, and figs. Okay. Some people send me their funny phrases, and I'm collecting them. So please do send them over, because I'm having fun reading them, and I will make a post about it. So here's my technique that I've literally invented, but that I found myself just to make things easier for my students. So here's what we need to do with them. Mi flat, here it is, and B flat, here it is. Oh, fantastic. We have a key signature with 2 flats, which means that we are in B flat major. There you go. F major would have had just 1 flat. E flat major would have had 3 flats, and F minor is the relative minor of A flat major, which means that it would have 4 flats. Sorted. That's all. We have sharps now, so bass clef, watch out, because if you misread these notes, you're going to be in trouble with the identifying the key signature and the key. So D sharp, okay, then we have La sharp, wow, Sol sharp, Fa sharp, obviously we have lots of sharps in this piece, Do sharp, and Sol sharp again, and Re sharp again. All right, we have 5 sharps in this piece. What do we do with them? The last one, from the last one we go 1 semitone up and we find the key. So A sharp plus 1 semitone, B. We are in B major. E major has just 4 sharps. F sharp major has loads of sharps. We've seen it before. It has 6 sharps. And B minor is the relative minor of D major, and it has just 2 sharps. So none of them could work. The last example has flats and sharp. What confusing things. No, not really. Don't worry. When we have flats and sharps together, you need to look at the flats. I'll tell you just this. We'll go from there. We have Fa sharp. Let's ignore it. We have B flat and E flat, plus this Fa sharp that I would circle. This mixture of flats and sharps happens when the sharped note is the leading note. So we are in a minor key and the 7th degree has been raised. So this is the leading note of a minor key. We need to go 1 semitone higher from this, G, G minor. G minor is the relative minor of B flat, and B flat major has 2 flats. There you go. So it is all explained. Why don't we need to raise the leading note on a major key? Because it's already raised, and the reason is that it is included in the key signature, so it doesn't need to be raised. It's already a semitone below the tonic. So the leading note must be a semitone below the tonic. It is naturally there in the major keys. It has to be raised in the minor keys. For example, this is why the harmonic scale has just the 7th degree raised, because that's the only thing we need. Question 4. I'm sure you know, guys, that I love reading your comments and I reply to all of them. I love receiving emails about you, about your musical studies, whatever you do, what you are preparing, if you like the videos, if you find them easy, what you particularly like. I really, really like reading your comments. And as you can see from all the videos that you can find in my channel, I always reply. So please do get in touch with me. In this 4th question, we need to choose the 2 missing notes that would form a scale of F sharp harmonic minor. All right then. F sharp is the relative minor of A major, and A major has 3 sharps, Fa, Do and Sol. So Sol plus 1 semitone, A major. Now the harmonic minor, I've just said that, has the only 7th degree raised. So let's go in order. Don't panic when you see the another clef that you're not used to read. You know that this is Fa sharp, right? So you can write it down. Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Si, La, Sol, Fa. You can bring a scrap paper for the online exam, so you can put it over here and then do exactly what I'm doing. So don't worry. I know that you can't write on for the online on the screen when you take the actual exam, but you can bring a scrap paper provided that you show that it's blank when you start the exam, and then you tear it up when you finish. So Fa sharp, okay, this is Mi. Now this Mi, it's not included in the key signature, but it has to be raised. So for me, it becomes E sharp. There you go. Re, Do sharp, okay. Si, La, Sol, okay. Is this Sol sharp? Yes, it is in the key signature. So G sharp. There you go. Sorted. Now you can do this if you don't want to read the notes. However, the tenor clef is treble clef -1, so G sharp becomes Fa sharp. Never mind. Happy? Let's turn the page. Okay, are you ready for this? Another long question to answer. We need to circle the only one clef that would make these minor scales. The only way to answer this is by trying each and every one of them. Only one would make sense, the other ones wouldn't, so we have to try, I'm afraid. In the treble clef, this would be G flat. G flat minor doesn't exist because B flat, it would be the relative minor of B double flat major. It doesn't exist. It exists as an A major and F sharp minor. So treble clef, no. In bass clef, this would be B flat. Let's write it down. Let's see. And B flat minor is the relative minor of D flat major. I've forgotten to write big elephants, 8 dinosaurs, goat, cheese. Oh, it never works if I call the notes goat, cheese and figs. Okay, and the sharps are fa, do, sol, re, la, mi, si. There you go. This is the system that works for me. Okay, so D flat major has all these flats, so they should be also in this scale. So we have B flat. This is C, not flat. This is D, yes, flat. Mi, yes, flat. Fa, no, flat. Sol, yes, flat. La, yes, flat, but this could be the leading note, and B flat again. So this is a harmonic scale of B flat minor, it is. So this is the answer. But to go deeper and to learn more, we exclude the other ones. In the alto clef, treble clef +1, this would be A flat minor. A flat is a hypothetical minor, a relative minor scale of C double flat, doesn't exist, so no. And in the tenor clef, treble clef -1, this will be Fa flat, F flat minor. It doesn't also exist. So the only possible answer would be the bass clef. Next one, we have sharps. If we are in treble clef, this would be B sharp. Now B sharp minor doesn't exist because we would have D sharp major, doesn't exist, so no. In the bass clef, this would be D sharp, D sharp minor, which could be the minor, relative minor of F sharp major. F sharp has loads of sharps. F sharp has 6 sharps, but I don't see them here. This is a descending scale, which means that it should be natural, which means that it should have all these sharps. So I don't think this is the case. We only have 1, 2, 3, and 4 sharps in this key signature. So we can already think of an so a C sharp minor scale, the relative minor of E major. Anyway, let's go in order. I don't think this is the case. The alto clef is treble clef +1, so from B sharp we go to C sharp. If this is C sharp, we should have, it's the relative minor of E major, as I said, we should have 4 sharps. We do have 4 sharps, the 5th is the replication of this. And let's see, so Do sharp, B, not sharp. Do, si, La, no sharp. Sol, yes, sharp. Fa, yes, sharp. Mi, no sharp. Re, yes, sharp. And Do, sharp. So I think this is a descending melodic scale of C sharp minor. So I think the answer is this. Let's exclude the tenor clef. -1 would make it B sharp minor. So, sorry, it would make it A sharp minor. That is the relative minor of C sharp minor. And C sharp minor has all the sharps in the key signature, but here we have not as many. So, impossible. Am I going too fast? I hope not. You can pause the video and think. You can re-watch the explanation. And you can also play it slower if you want. The last example, we have flats. So let me rub this out. All right, let's try all the clefs. If we are in treble clef, this is E flat, and E flat minor is the relative minor of G flat, and G flat has 6 flats. Now here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this could be the raised note. So let's double check. So we are in B flat, E flat minor. So E flat, Mi, Fa, not flat. Sol, yes, flat. La, yes, flat. Si, yes, flat. Do, yes, flat. Re, yes, flat, but probably raised. and Mi flat again. So the answer is the treble clef because this makes sense. Let's exclude the other ones though. In bass clef, this would be G flat minor, which would be the non-existing relative minor of B double flat, so no. In the alto clef, this would be Fa flat minor, the non-existing relative minor of A double flat, no. And in the tenor clef, this will be D flat, which is the non-existing relative minor of F double flat, F flat major. So the treble clef is our answer today. Happy? Let me know in the comments. I know that this one is tricky. You can always watch the other videos, by the way, where I probably go a little bit slower or a bit deeper. It depends on what I see, honestly. Every case is different. Let's move on to question 6. In this question, we need to answer true or false depending on whether the chromatic scales have been written correctly or not. In this case, we need to start from B flat, and as ever, I do my long keyboard. My God, this is really long. The longest ever. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. B flat, B natural, Do, Re flat, Re natural, Mi natural. So Mi flat, Mi natural, Fa sharp, Sol sharp, La sharp. Almost. It would have been correct if it wasn't for this note. We have to start and finish on the same note. Yes, you can tell me this is the same sound. Yes, but 2 different names. So this is false. And this is the only reason. It was all good up to here. Sorry. Next one. Bass clef. This is Fa. If you don't remember it, count from middle C, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. Fa, Mi flat, Re, Do sharp, Do, Si flat, La flat, Sol, Fa sharp, and Fa natural. Now you can tell me here we have a mixture of flats and sharps. It doesn't make any sense. It's not tidy and blah blah blah. It is correct. Doesn't really matter. It is correct. There are no mistakes in this chromatic scales of mistakes in writing, because the sound is correct in both this time. So yeah, that's it. Happy? Question 7, the last one of this long section. We need to circle true or false for each statement. So this note, which is, okay, in the treble clef, there are certain things that you can do to be quicker in reading if you're not confident with reading yet, and I hope you are. You can remember the note on the top of the house of music on the attic, which is my favorite way to live, favorite place to live, is Sol. So Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. This is a D. Okay, or you're so good at reading the music that you know already that this is D. This is the leading note of E flat major. Now you can count, you can do all the calculations that you want. I just tell you that the leading note is 1 semitone below the tonic, and D is 1 semitone below E flat, E flat. So this is true. B flat is a submediant of D major. No. So because D major has sharp, so this flat doesn't make sense. No. To read this note, we can do this. We know that this is Do in treble clef, so now we count. Do, Si, La, Sol, Fa. This is an F in treble clef plus 2 La. Is this the dominant of B flat minor? Now, B flat, look at this, B flat and A, isn't this a semitone below? So it can't be a dominant. The dominant is the 5th degree. And submediant is the 6th. The dominant is the 5th degree of a scale, so B flat, this is the leading note, so it is false. Sorted. Are we happy? Section 4. This section relates to intervals and we have 3 questions about them. Let's go in order. We need to tick the box that shows the correct name for the intervals, and I need a keyboard for that. How about writing it here so I can use, oh well. Okay. On the scrap paper, you can write this as well in the exam, during the exam. The first example is a compound interval, and we know this because it's more than an octave. The 2 notes are more than an octave apart. So we just, to identify it, we either raise this up of an octave or we put it down, lower it down, the 2nd note down. In this case, I just go up for no reason, really. This is B flat, by the way, first the names of the notes and Fa sharp. Okay, first the number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It is a 5th. A perfect 5th is 3 tones and a half. Oh, by the way, if you count the intervals with semitones only, I think it's a little bit confusing, because the more items you have, the more likely you are of missing steps or missing things, so to be wrong. I don't use that technique. I don't use the scale technique that many of you use. I think it's very popular in the UK, but I don't think it is convenient because it adds an extra layer. And if you don't get the scale right, you don't get the interval right. So the intervals are separate from scales. That is just a technique, but it isn't the only way to identify the intervals. The intervals are distances between the notes. And the distances exist regardless of the key or scale they belong to. It's the distance between 2 sounds. So note scale is actually involved in that. So it is a technique that many of you use, and you can keep doing it if you want. Good stuff if you don't get it wrong. I prefer not to. It's too lengthy for me. It is a 5th. A 5th is 3 tones and a half away. So let's count. 1, 2, 3 and a half, and another half because it's Fa sharp. So it is not perfect, but it's augmented. And I was saying, sorry, I forgot that I made a TikTok with this. It's very quick, and then you know each interval, the number of tones and semitones for each interval. So 1, 2, 3 and a half, that's Fa, but we have the sharp on Fa, so another half, which means compound augmented. That's the only augmented case here. There you go. This is Re and this is Fa flat. Fa, F clef, F, F clef. Re, Fa flat. Okay, this is a third. 1, 2 and 3. A third is 2 tones away, a major third. So let's have a look. 1 and 2, so with sharp, with A sharp, that would be major. It doesn't have a sharp, so it's minor, and it has actually A flat, so it's diminished. Major minus 1 tone, 1 semitone equals minor, minus another semitone equals diminished. So this is a diminished third. 1 tone only. The last example is La flat and Fa. And it is a 6, but anyway, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This is a good example of, because I can show you my technique, my flipping over technique that you won't find in any book. But recently, one of my viewers told me that their teacher has also taught them this system. So it relates to maths, so anyone can find it. But there you go. I'm telling you this. So we flip over. We either put this down or we put this up. For practical reasons, I will put that up here, and we find a third. Now we need to identify this third. Fa, La flat. 1.5. It is not a major third, but it's a minor third, which means they're flipped over. This becomes a major 6th. Minor becomes major and vice versa. Diminished becomes augmented and vice versa. So again, I flip it over, I count the third, found out that this was a minor third, which means they're flipped over again. The interval becomes a major 6. Done. What do you make of this? Let me know it in the comments below. Question 2. We need to circle the type of interval, but to do that we need to identify the interval, so we have to do the whole thing. Okay. This is a compound interval, and we know this because it's more than an octave above, so we either raise it up of an octave or we lower it down. In this case, I lower it down. This is Sol, so Sol flat. All right. Oh, that's a second. Very handy. Fa, Sol flat is a semitone, is a minor second, which means that this is a compound minor second. It doesn't really matter if it's compound, it's the same as simple intervals, so minor. In the next one, in the next example, we have sharps, so we must read the notes well. This is Mi and this is La sharp. There you go, that's the trick. Okay, we have 5 sharps, quite a lot. Mi, La sharp, it is a fourth, 1, 2, 3 and 4. A perfect fourth is made up of 2.5 tones, so let's count. 1, 2.5 and another half. So it's not perfect, but augmented because we widen it. We augment the distance, basically. Augmented. One, 2.5 and another half. This is an octave. Mimi, that's the easiest. Perfect. When the notes are the same, this is the quickest ever. I love it. It's just perfect. Yeah. Brilliant. Question 3. In this question, we need to write the notes to form the given interval, and the note should be higher than the given one. I assume online you will need to drag the note onto the virtual stave. We need to write, I'll do it here. Okay, we need to find a compound diminished fourth. So first let's ignore compound and let's just find diminished fourth. This is G flat, and we know this because we count Do, Si, La, Sol flat. Now, a perfect fourth would be 2 tones and a half away. First, the name of the note, Sol, La, Si, Do. So, the note is middle C. Now, we need to find the, oh, sorry guys, this is compound. So I have to make like a draft version of this do. Okay, so the note is do, it would be written up here. Let's see if we need any accidental. So 2.5 away and then 2 away, we take 1. So we have 1, 2.5. That would make it natural, perfect. However, we need to take 1 semitone away because it's diminished. So it's not do flat, but it's double flat. Now we raise it up of an octave and we find our note. Okay, so 1, 2.5, that's do flat, perfect fourth, diminished fourth. Great. Next one. 4 flats, so this is B flat. We need to find a minor 6. Now let's do the flipping over technique. A minor 6 means a major third. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3. We find this G. Let's see what kind of G it is. So we need to find a major third is 2 tones away. So 1 and 2, G flat, G flat, and our G would be up here, flat. So a major third flipped over becomes a minor 6. A major 10th, this is a compound interval, and the decomposition of this is compound, major, that's the same. Now you have to do 10 minus 7 equals third. So a compound major third. We find a major third from fa, and then we raise it up of an octave. 1, 2 and 3. It's la. Fa, 2 semitones away, 2 tones away. 1, 2, la. That's already a major third. To make it a 10th, we need to raise it up of an octave. And here it is. Next, this is middle C. An augmented 7th equals to a diminished 2nd flipped over. So here, do C, we need to make the distance shorter, so to make it diminished, and so to flip over it becomes augmented. So do C, that's a semitone, but we need to raise it up in order to shorten the distance. Here we need to use a little bit of imagination because they actually are the same note. So this is a minor 2nd, and to make it diminished we need to reduce the distance further, which means B sharp. So B sharp and do, even though they are the same notes, well, same sound, but as I said, not the same notes, they are a diminished 2nd. If flipped over, it becomes an augmented 7th. By the way, a major 7th is a semitone below. So to make it augmented, you need to raise it up. I hope this was useful. Let's turn the page together. This section relates to chords, and we have 3 questions on them. The first one asks us to identify the chords and the cadences, basically, using one of the chords listed here. So if you find a chord that is not from this list, you're very likely to be wrong. we are in C major, and we know this because we start with Do, we end with Do, we have a chord of Do major, so it's C major. Okay. If we observe here, we have 4 notes, but the chord includes only 3 of them, which means that one of them is a passage note. The passage note is a note that doesn't belong to the chord, but is a link between one and another. And to find it, we need to see what makes sense. A chord has this shape where a note is one on, off, on, off, on. If we have, for example, this shape or this shape, this note is a passage note, and this note is a passage note too. So let's have a look. We have Re, Mi, Fa, and La. So the chord is this, which doesn't make any sense. So we need to raise this up so we find the shape that we want. Therefore, this is the passage note, and these are the notes of the chord. Re, Fa, La. They are already in order. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La. On, off, on, off, on. Re is the bottom note, and for C major is the 2nd degree included in the list here. The second chord is made up of only 2 notes. Don't despair, because we'll find the third. Sol and Si. Okay, let's try with a note below. Okay, let's see. So Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si. Mi is the bottom note, and for Si is the 3rd degree. But the 3rd degree in our case doesn't make any of the cadences that we need to identify, so it's wrong. So the note must be above. So, Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. Okay, our note is Sol. That for C major is the 5th degree. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. 5. Perfect. La, Si, Do, and Fa. They are not in order. La, Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. They are not in order. So, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. There you go. Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. Now we have Fa as the bottom note. Do, Re, Mi, Fa is the 4th degree of C major. 4. Re, Sol, and Si. Let's put them in order. Si, Do, Re. So Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. Sorry. Silly me. Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. It's because with the names of the notes A, B, C, I'm a bit confused. Sol again as the bottom note, so it's the 5th degree of C major. Now 4, 5, 1, I would expect chord 1 here, although sometimes we have a cadence called 5 to 6, but this is not the case. We don't have it listed here. So I think this is 1, but let's have it sorted. Do and Mi. Do, Mi, of course, Sol is missing. So this is the chord C major on a C major piece, and this is 5-1, a perfect cadence, extended because we have 4-5-1 in this case. 2-4 is an imperfect cadence. Let me write it down actually. We need it for the next exercise anyway. Okay. Done. Are you happy? Let's move on to the next one. In this exercise, we need to do something very similar to the previous one, but we only need to identify the cadences. But to do that, we have to identify the chords. So, it's a step up. We are in F major. Thank you very much to say that, so we don't have to bother to do it. We have B flat, Fa, and Re. Let's put them in order. I'll do it up here. Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. On, off, on, off, on. Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. The bottom note is B. That for F major is the 4th degree because Fa, Sol, La, Si. Okay, so 4th degree. Where do I write it down now without confusing you? Next one, Fa, Sol, La. Okay, F is doubled. The order is Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. The bottom note is Fa and is also the tonic. So 5-1 is the plagal cadence. The next example is in D major. Let's have a look. I'll write it here now. Sol, La, Si, Sol, and B again. So, oh sorry, no, this is Re. Oh, my goodness. So in order, it is Sol, La, Si, Do, Re, G major. A G major chord that for D major is the 4th degree. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. Okay, so number 4. La, Do, Mi, and another La. There is doubled. So let's put them in order. This is in order already. La, Si, Do, Re, Mi. La is the bottom note, and for D major is the 5th degree. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La. 5. 4-5 is an imperfect cadence. Anything that goes to 5, basically, to make it simpler. Done. Sorted. Next one. Again, guys, if you have any questions, doubts or anything, or just you want just to tell me that you appreciate my videos and then you enjoy them, just write them in the comments below or send me an email at info@rossellarubini.com. Everything is in the description below. The key here is in A flat major, and we need to identify the 3 chords and the inversions. So we go deeper into this. This is B flat. Where do I write it? Here. Okay, another B flat, Fa, and Re. In order, it is Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. B flat is the bottom note, and for A flat major is the 2nd degree. Now, at the bottom of our chord here, do we have B flat? Do we have D, or do we have F? We have B flat, so it's 2A, also called 2. In this case, we have it specified. In the next one, we have Re, La, so Re flat, La flat, Fa, and another Re flat. In order, it is Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La. There you go. The bottom is, at the bottom is D flat. Let's count from A. Flat, La, Si, Do, Re. It's the 4th. Do we have at the bottom Re, Fa, or La? We have D flat, so this is 4A, also called 4. The last one, we have, I don't know where to write it. Oh, well, I'll write it here. Mi flat, La flat, Mi flat, and Do. So this is doubled, probably is La, Si, Do, Re, Mi. Okay, La, Si, Do, Re, Mi. At the bottom we have A flat, there is also the tonic, so this is the tonic chord. And do we have A flat? Do we have B, C, or do we have E flat? At the bottom we have E flat, so this is 1C. Typical of the cadence, 1C, 5, 1. It's typical cadence in which the dominant stays for 2 different chords. The chord on the tonic and the chord of the dominant to then fall into the tonic again. It's a typical example. Okay, was that easy? Let me know. I'm interested in these chords now. Meanwhile, let's move on to the 6th section. In this section, we talk about terms, science, and instruments. And we need a bit of memory here, a bit of experience. Do accumulate your experience by observing what you do and also what other people do around you. So, for example, your friends, if you're turning the pages for them and then you see something on the score, observe how they play it. What does mezzo forte mean? What does rallentando means? What does morendo means? Just remember the meaning by remembering how you interpreted it and how you played it. This is the best way to go. Also, when you memorize the meaning, the literal meaning of a musical term, shift towards the musical meaning, because mezzo forte doesn't mean anything if you don't associate it to something, to an image, to a picture, to something that your mind feels tangible. Mezzo forte means half forte. What does that mean? This is also incorrect. Watch the video where I talk about this. The meaning of mezzo in Italian is totally different from half. Actually, it's not half, it's almost. So almost forte, which means that you're nearly forte. So it's different from half forte. That doesn't mean anything at all. Half forte. So do you say in English, could you please speak half loudly, please? What does that mean? So think musically. Traurig is a German term for sad. So sad. Cantando, cantare means singing, so means singing. And lent is a French term for lento, so slow. Sometimes, for example, the terms are very similar. In this case, lento, lent. So try to pair them up with what you know. Moderate, moderato, rallentir, rallentando, and then accelerate, accelerando, for example. So see the similarities with your own language, okay? You're lucky if you speak one of the Latin-based languages, but otherwise you just memorize it. Question 2. We need to tick the box that shows the correct name for the developed ornaments. We have 3 notes here. We can exclude acciaccatura because it's made up of 2 notes only. The upper turn is also excluded because it's made up of 5 notes, and the only possible answers could be lower or upper mordant. And in this case, it is lower because we go down first, okay? Otherwise it will be da, da, da. The next one has 4 notes, and I think that we can exclude acciaccatura, appoggiatura, because it's made up of just 2 notes and quicker. The trill is also much longer, and the only possible answer is the turn. There is this, also called gruppetto. A small group of notes. There you go. And I hope you can see the shape of this as well. Sorted. Question 3. We need to circle true or false for each of the statements. The harp, also, this is about knowledge. So you would need to go through the book in grade 4 and 5 that talks about instrument. Also, there are some nice, very nice videos online. You're so lucky, guys, to have YouTube. It's a powerful thing. You have everything you need on YouTube. So go and find some videos in which people explain something about the instrument. I found a series, very nice, from a London Symphony Orchestra or something like it. I try to link it below. If you want to explore more about the instruments, the soloist of that orchestra talk about their instrument, and then you have some music played as well, so you can see the mechanism and the sound. And this is the best way to memorize things. The harp is a string instrument. Yes, it has strings. The glockenspiel produces sounds of indefinite pitch. Not really, no. The glockenspiel is that kind of glassy sound that is that creates pitches, depending on how big the piece of glass is. The baritone voice has a lower range than the tenor voice. So in order is tenor, baritone, bass, like the clefs. Again, watch my videos. So yes, it is a lower range. It has a lower range. The clarinet is a single reed instrument, and this is just that you're lucky if you play the clarinet. It's a beautiful instrument. Otherwise, you need to know that it has a single reed. So true. The trumpet can play more than one note at the same time. Okay, so to answer this, although in contemporary music probably this has been explored, you need to think of blowing instruments are like the human voice. So can you sing two sounds at the same time? Yes, it is possible if you use abnormal techniques, but if you use normal ones, you can't. So no, unless you use a specific technique. So this is debatable, but they talk about normal kind of music, not experimental one or super modern one or pop music one. Okay, so they just want to talk about orchestral classical music, concert music, Beethoven, Brahms, these kinds of people as composers. Okay, I think it's time for music in context, shall we? In this section, we need to observe a piece of music and answer a series of questions. The first one asks us to compare, in particular, the right-hand piano part in bar 5 with these bars and find the only right statement. So I'll reproduce it here as ever. This is a piece for piano, so I am going to write the treble clef and bar 5 is sol. Okay, so let's observe middle C as ever. If the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? This is middle C in treble clef. Middle C in the alto clef is here, in the bass clef. So this is lower than middle C, this is higher than middle C. In the bass clef is here, and they are the same. In the tenor clef is here, and they are the same. 1, 2, and 3. All right. So A, B, and C are the same and are an octave lower than the original version. And I've already answered this question, I think. We only need to find what I said. A and C are correctly rewritten one octave lower. Yes, I guess so. We haven't looked at the shape actually. Yeah, I think so. B is correctly rewritten one octave lower. Only B. Oh, sorry, only A and C. No. Only B. No. A, B, and C are correctly rewritten one octave lower. Yes. And only B and C. No. So I've said that already. They are the same notes. So same thing. Cool. Question 2. If you're preparing for any of the ABRSM graded piano exams, you can find the tutorial on all the scales in my secret place in my channel. If you join the membership club, you will be able to watch them and practice them. I've been told already that they are very useful, and so I hope that you like them. There is a shorter version of them visible for all, and I hope it is useful. You can also find a checklist on Etsy, and I link everything in the description below. I hope it is useful. In this question, we need to circle true or false for each statement about the music. So let's have a look. The music is in compound double time. Well, 2/4 is not compound, but is simple, so false. It is duple because we do 1 and 2 and, but it's not compound. The lowest note of the music is a B. Not really, I think it's G. It's the last note of the piece, and it's a G. There are 6 dotted quavers in the right hand part. Well, if you count them, yes, they are 6. True. And here they are. All the notes in the music can be found in the key of G major. No, because of Do sharp, there is in bar 3 here. Do sharp doesn't belong to G major but to D major, and in fact there is a very quick modulation to this that ends at the end of bar 4 with Do natural. But so the answer is no, because they say all the notes in the music, so no. The speed of the music is very fast. No, andantino is not very. It's andante is a bit. It's a bit slower than andante. Andante means walk at a walking pace, as if you're going somewhere, but in no rush. So false. Yeah. Done. Next question. Which instrument could play the right hand part from bar 1 to 4 without struggling, basically? Tuba, not really, because it's really low. Timpani, no, not really. Double bass is too low as well, so the only possible answer is oboe. There is not too low, not too high for bar 1 to 4. And how many times the dominant, so the 5th degree of G major, which is Re, appears in the left hand part? If you count them, you will find them that it occurs 9 times. Many. Well, the dominant is an important note. And here they are. The last question. We need to complete the 2 sentences by adding a number. Bar 6 has the same pitch and rhythm as bar 5. They are the same. And there is a trill in bar 7. And here's the symbol. Tr. The first 2 letters. And with this, we have completed our exam paper. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. Let me know. And thank you for watching it until the end, and see you in my next video. Bye bye. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it was useful. Don't forget to leave a like down there and share it with your friends. If it was useful for you, it will be useful for other people too. Now, if you want more sample papers published by ABRSM, click here and find the video you're looking for. In the meantime, I would like to thank all the ones who are messaging me and leaving comments. You know that I always read them and I always reply. And thanks to all the ones who are telling me that thanks to my videos, they have improved and feel more confident. This makes me so happy. What else to say? Happy music, everyone. Bye.